Every passing year, new events bring to light the fact that we are not alone in the universe. E.g., we have also been constantly monitored, isolated by non-human beings. Moreover, there is a strong theory that human-alien hybrids already roam the Earth, and they might become the new rulers of the planet. Folks, alien abduction is a term used to describe a phenomenon of temporary disappearances involving non-human or extraterrestrial entities. Some people report having been secretly taken by beings from other planets who have undergone physical and psychological experiments. The real reasons an extraterrestrial civilization would have for abducting people are more speculative than proven. But interviews conducted with people who claim to have been abducted, quasi datissante, lead to believe that the visitors' intentions range from biological study to genetic crossing. Biological studies of humans go beyond physiology, also covering knowledge about our psychology and culture. Well, this could raise numerous questions, such as why would an alien race cross thousands of light years to study just behavior and the body? Humans. Do we really think we are so unique and special in the entire universe that we deserve in-depth study by other intergalactic races? Look, folks, I'm not saying we're not a highly intelligent race. Now, at the same time, complex, that doesn't need to be studied. No, in fact, we already do this for ourselves. It's on our account. More conspiracy-based theories suggest that the visitor's goal, important when they abduct someone, is to manipulate their mind for religious, military, or political purposes. Vidus, a typical theory of science fiction movies, and also a quite questionable thesis. What happened, for example, when Cabral arrived in the lands where Brazil is today? By manipulation to be more aware. Broadly speaking, so that the Portuguese felt accepted by the natives and could explore. They killed it. They presented the nations with objects they had never. Virus, and then is to use them as cheap labor and other things. I have that. I've got that. So even though it seems like some fantasy author's fantasy, science fiction, social, political, and religious manipulation could be interesting to visitors.
They're nothing but hideous space reptiles.
By making our authorities their subordinates, public acceptance is much broader, as people tend to accept what the government, the Pope, or the police chief says, he says. For a real conquest of a planet, it would be very worthwhile for the aliens to have this kind of control. Is this already happening? And we don't even suspect it. Testing weapons and technologies is another theory some theorists suggest. It is certain that humanity has reached a quite high and dangerous level in terms of the lethality of the weapons it produces. From the bow and arrow to the atomic bomb, humanity has already created weapons with diverse powers. However, there are theories that claim aliens are not here to learn from us. On the contrary, for at least a century, they have taught us to build and use increasingly powerful weapons. Let's go see. What resource would they use to teach us this without being noticed? People, according to some theorists, they would go unnoticed, precisely because they are like us. At least in appearance, they would act as opinion makers or advisors, financiers, military authorities, or even in the management of a country. There is a theory that claims aliens
Indígenas are monitoring
interfering in nuclear activities developed by humanity, both to prevent a nuclear war and to study the technology and behavior. According to this theory, aliens would have disabled or sabotaged various nuclear weapons, missiles, and military bases throughout history, especially during the Cold War. A UFO would have flown over Hiroshima and Nagasaki before the atomic bombings, possibly to observe the effects of radiation. Of action. A UFO is said to have shot down 10 intercontinental ballistic missiles at Malmstrom Air Force Base in the United States, preventing them from being launched in case of a Soviet attack. In '76, a UFO interfered with the launch of a nuclear missile at Vandenberg Air Force Base in the United States, causing it to veer off course and fall into the ocean. In 1982, a UFO would have invaded the airspace of Rathwood Air Base, Bridge in England, where secret nuclear weapons from the United States were stored. The UFO is said to have emitted light beams over the weapons, possibly to neutralize or even examine them. Lately, the internet has been flooded with UFO content. There are numerous sightings of UFOs all around the world, whole being recorded by people using smartphones, headphones, whether on the streets, day or night, or during a civilian or military flight. Finally, we follow the unfolding of a hearing in the North American House of Representatives, where a former Air Force intelligence officer claimed that the government maintains a long-standing defense program with secrecy that collects evidence of life existence in other countries from other planets. It turns out that David Grush, the former officer who worked exactly with the task force that investigates aerial phenomena, notes that Dynamaniacs said the government would have under its power non-human ships and biological products. Maybe we will come to the conclusion that who is in charge is the United States government. United, not the Allies. This would explain the fact that the United States government already had to have a certain knowledge not only about the existence of aliens, but also about some of the technology they have. They have the material of their ships, the flight instruments, and even the physiology of the Greats, which is one of the alien species, allegedly existing, that were captured by the Americans in Roswell in 1947. Another reason to explain abductions is essentially biological, but in terms of reproduction. I don't study it exactly. It's clear that the reasons can be related or not. But the theory of reproduction with the purpose of creating hybrid individuals, ideas and anticipated in our scenes between humans and aliens, it's gaining more and more strength. However, there are reasons to believe that something beyond our understanding might indeed be happening. Another example is the increase in the number of reports of alien abductions that involves alleged genetic experiments carried out by extraterrestrial beings on humans. Most abductees can't remember the moments they were inside a spaceship, but they can have flashes of color, things that could only have occurred in a controlled and completely unknown environment. Others are able to remember and report what happened. Just more about hypnosis, according to David Wilcock, an American writer. Until now, people were accustomed to the typical DNA model, where you have a very well-defined progression of earlier types of life, up from nidus to anatomically modern humans. Okay, but this can no longer be considered a single universal truth. According to him, there's evidence that there might have been crossings between humans and aliens on several occasions. Wilcock also quotes a study done by the doctor. He analyzed and discovered that in the last 5,000 years, our DNA has evolved at a rate 100 times greater than before, than at any previous period in our history. This is the bag. Could it have been natural? Or is there a possibility that there was genetic crossbreeding at some point in the last 5,000 years? That could explain these gigantic changes in the structure of human DNA. It's possible that our hominid ancestors, they went through such crossbreeding processes to become what we are today. Look, folks, as much as far-fetched as this idea sounds, believe it, there are serious scholars who consider this possibility. So we would all be descendants of some hybrid, thus having a
Alien blood nest.
in a world created following religious precepts, where there's a singular creator who sent his son to die to save humanity from their sins. It's practically impossible to have a thought beyond the cross and the sword. However, indifferent to this, strange things have been happening for millennia. And it seems that more and more a large portion of society is unaware of this. Maybe not even the hybrids know what it is, which are until the moment they become not only necessary, but also the new humans, the new beings at the top of the chain, the new ones. Leave a comment, share your opinion. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.